Welcome to the Campus Fellowship Podcast. This is an episode where we are going to be interviewing a student about their testimony and how they came to faith in Christ, and we hope it'll be a blessing to your life. My name is Jacob Bennett. I serve as the Executive Director of Campus Fellowship, which exists to equip local churches to implement and sustain dynamic, disciple-making college ministries who worship God and change the world. With us today is Cole Weckman from Grandview. Say hi, Cole.
Hi.
Sweet. Now, Cole, you knew that we're going to come on here, you're going to share your testimony, but what you didn't know is that I have 6 cards here, 6 index cards.
Okay.
And they all have different topics, different things on them that we're just going to have a little bit of fun with.
Okay.
Maybe get to know you a little bit, maybe just have a little bit of fun.
Sure.
So I'm going to pull out 2 random cards, and you're going to get to pick which one we do. So kind of hard to explain not knowing all the cards, but we'll get to see. So first card, quick hitters or AI.
Ooh.
I'm not going to explain these at all. Either quick hitters or AI. What would you rather do?
Let's do quick hitters.
Quick hitters.
Yep.
Okay. Cole, the world is wondering, how often do you think of the Roman Empire?
I never think of the Roman Empire.
Never?
No, I really don't. I've been asked that before.
Wow, okay. So never, but you obviously thought about it before. When was the last time you actually thought about the Roman Empire?
Right now is when you asked me, and then the last time someone asked me about it.
Cole, also, do you play the sandwich game?
I'm not familiar with that, no.
We'll just say if you're in the sandwich game, things could get dicey.
Okay.
Now, Cole, do you play spike ball?
Yes, I do play spike ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it spike ball or round net?
Spike ball.
Spike ball?
Yeah.
You're not like it's called round net, guys?
I've never heard of round net.
Really?
No.
Really? Okay. Next one. Is water wet?
I would say yes.
Ooh, okay. And last one. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
Okay. It's not a sandwich. I think it's its own kind of category.
Okay. Cole, why don't you share with us? Share with us your testimony, how you came to know Christ. We want to hear.
Sure. I'm going to start real far back to when I was born. So I was born in Des Moines, lived here up until I was 3 or 4. I was baptized at a Lutheran church, Hope Church out in Waukee, actually, where I went to preschool also.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up attending church there with my parents until we moved to a small southern town called New Virginia.
Okay.
Southern town is in southern Iowa, I should say.
Yep.
So it's about 45 minutes outside Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't really attend church a whole lot after that, not until I reached middle school. And then we attended a Methodist church in the town over, a couple towns over. Because you have small towns, not a whole lot of stuff around. So we had to go a little out of the ways to find one.
Yeah.
I did everything you could kind of think of there, VBS, confirmation. I got confirmed there, youth groups, Sundays, Sunday schools, mission trips. But the whole time I never really knew Christ. Just kind of running through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just either pleasing the people around me in the church or just my parents. My mom would have called herself a Christian. I like to think that she is. My dad is self-admittedly not a Christian.
Okay.
And then I have a twin brother who would also call himself a Christian as well.
Okay.
So I never really understood what it meant to follow Christ. I never really thought about that a whole lot. Mine was more like, you have the 10 Commandments. I got to try hard not to break those.
Yep.
And then God will let me into heaven.
Okay.
And so...
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I haven't been able to do it. Haven't been able to do it, so
yeah.
I don't think anyone has. One person, but...
One person did, yeah, you're right.
And so high school, didn't attend church much either. It wasn't until I came to Grandview where for a class I was assigned to go to, chapel is what they call it, the church service at Grandview on Tuesdays. Yeah. And I just kept going. I never stopped going. I don't know why I kept going. I didn't really enjoy it a whole lot, but I just kept going. I think church was kind of just a habit in me at that point from when I was younger, so I just kept attending. But then a friend of mine, beginning of sophomore year, around, end of October, I'd gotten out of a 1-year-long relationship with a girl I met at Grandview. We had broken up in maybe September, I want to say, and so I was just kind of I didn't really have anything. I was looking for something. I was really like kind of lost. And my friend Mario invited me to come along to Walnut Creek. It's when you guys do the movies and then they film them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And he described
Campus Fellow Clips.
Yes, that's it. That's right.
Plug that podcast channel, Campus Fellow Clips.
Campus Fellow Clips.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about it. He described it as, we're going to go downtown, we make these movies, and then we show them off downtown.
Right.
And I was like, I think I'll pass. That sounds a little weird. And he goes, well, all right.
It is, admittedly.
Yeah. We'll be filming some tonight, and you're welcome to stop by. And he goes, just how about you come with me tomorrow? We'll go watch them. And I go, all right. Sounds good. And so I went with him. I knew a few people there that I was friends with at Grandview. And so I was like, I wasn't a complete stranger. But I just never stopped coming since. The sense of community I felt. I was basically part of a Bible study with the first guys I met. They're all my friends, and they just like took me in. That's the one thing a lot of people say is just how welcome and loving everybody is right away, and I think that really stuck out to me when I first started showing up. I'd never really felt anything like that before among friends. So having that sense of community right away, even though they didn't have to and they didn't know me, was something special. And I think looking back, like when you're living, you can't tell like kind of what God is doing sometimes, but looking back, it's like, oh, I see exactly what kind of picture He was painting for me. And looking back, I could tell that I think I was ready. I was like, I think I'm ready, God. I think I'm ready for You to show me who You are. And so I was being discipled by a couple guys, and I was really lucky I got the guys I got. I asked a lot of questions. I was kind of guy who needed all the information, as much information as I could get, and I was just super fortunate that they were willing to put up with me and ask and answer so many of my questions and challenge me to what I actually believed and what I was doing here. Because you join for the friends. Well, actually, guys, this little secret, guys join Campus Fellowship for the girls.
That often can happen.
Yeah. And then I stayed for the Lord. I just recognized like how the Lord works through Campus Fellowship in so many ways, like it did through me. And when I began to notice that, it's like the sky was the limit for what I wanted to learn. I wanted to know all I could about this. And it wasn't until I joined in late October, and it wasn't until last month, June, where I finally became a Christian. Like it finally clicked. I finally was like, I'm saying the right thing. I was saying the right things earlier, but it makes sense. I want to give my life to Christ. And
awesome.
Take
me to that realization. What was there a question you were asking at the time, or like what was going through your head?
I was actually sitting at a service here on Sunday. Luke was talking, and I was just sitting there. I was like looking down. Just a moment where I wasn't paying attention, and I was just thinking about like my sin. Like they say the one who has been forgiven much loves much, and I had realized that like I've done some awful things. Like to the world, people are like, oh, that's not that bad. It's just kind of what you do. But I began to realize the way I treated people, the way I thought about people, just the things I would do was like I almost started crying. I almost broke down right there in church because I was just so ashamed of the way that I was, and I never wanted to treat people like that again. And I knew that if I were to die right now or have to get into heaven based on how I behave, I would never make it. I would go to hell forever if that were to happen.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking, I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do?
Wow.
And it hit me all at once. I was like, oh, I need to give my life to Christ. Like, I want to do it. There's nothing holding me back anymore. I'm ready to do it. And so service ended. I stood up, pulled my friend aside and went, I'm ready to give my life to Christ. I get it. It makes sense. Like, I fully get it now. And I went over, told my friend.
What was how did he respond? What happened to him?
He was just smiling. He was so happy. He just he gave me a hug and we started talking, and then I went over to my other group of friends and they were ecstatic too. And then the next night at Bible study, I made the public one to everybody in my Bible study, and like they just got up, group hugged me.
Yeah.
Like they were just so welcoming and so happy to see me finally embrace Christ.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like in your testimony, you talk about like realizing your sin, like seeing that Christ forgives,
Mm-hmm.
and like seeing that He's worthy of being followed,
Yeah.
like with everything. That He's worthy of being your Lord, and wanting that. So maybe kind of share with me a little bit, like since then, like in your group, in your campus group, your group, guys at Grandview, like what are some things that God has taught you along the way?
Before and still now, I still do this. I had a very low view of people.
Mm-hmm.
I was very narcissistic. I was very in my own head about how good I was, how much better I was than other people. And I still find myself like that. Never hasn't gone away yet. I don't expect it to go away for a while, but just God revealing that we're all made in His image, and that every one of us plays a part in the church, and just that who am I to compare myself to other people in that sense? I'm no better than them. I sin just like they do. I fall short just like they do. I was looking for the splinter in their eye when I had probably the world's biggest log in my own, and just showing me that, demonstrating that I'm not perfect. Mm-hmm. Also, patience. I find myself getting short with people really quick. Like my problems are big and yours are not, so why are you? I don't need to sit here and listen to them.
Yeah.
But just understanding that we're really all not that different. Mm-hmm. We all have the same problems. We all go through the same struggles, and just I know how much I appreciate it when people take the time to put up with me and listen to me. So why should I not extend the same kind of grace towards them in that too?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe kind of like shifting gears a little bit, we're getting ready for the fall. You're in a campus group, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want to give any shout outs to your campus group? And who's all in your campus group?
The guys that I know about, I don't remember everybody who's in it, but
no, that's fine.
Blake Joyner,
Yep. Okay.
Alec Lemke,
okay, Alec,
Mario De La Cruz,
sweet,
and I think that's the main. I think that's us four, and then me, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're ready.
And there's a bunch of ladies in there too. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So thinking about your campus group, kind of like thinking about coming the fall, or the coming fall, what would be the big reason why that like a freshman should get involved in a campus group?
I would say just a community.
Yeah.
I think having people who just show you what Christ is. People can tell you, like, if you don't follow Christ, you're going to go to hell. And that certainly works for some people. Like the fear way of doing it might work. But I think just showing them who Christ is is a lot more effective in bringing people to Christ than a lot of other methods I've seen. And so I think if you truly want to know what Christ looks like, just truly want to figure out what it's all about, becoming part of a campus group a good campus group is an easy way and a fun way to do it together. And fun in the sense where I get to hang out with my best friends all day and try to reach people with the Lord. Like I couldn't think of a better way to spend my time than that.
Yeah,
I enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
I was reading John 17 recently, and Jesus talks about how by your love for one another, the world will know that you're my disciples. Yeah. And it's through that oneness that God says, and hopefully the world would believe as well. There's a mission component to Christian community. And I think you're right. I think you're right on that as far as like the impact that a fellowship of Christians who are pursuing the Lord together, like it can be a witness that is unlike anything else in the world. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Cole, for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Listeners, if you found this encouraging, subscribe, give us a rating on your podcast app, and don't waste your time and get involved today in a campus ministry and in especially one of their small groups.